annual GovTech conference enters its second day. A convergence of government and ICT experts are meeting and really providing a unique platform for collaboration and the exchange of experiences, challenges and solutions. The gathering aims, of course, to highlight the transformative potential of technology in improving service delivery and fostering economic growth. Let's now turn to our reporter Katlego Legodi to delve deeper into the developments of the conference. A little bit earlier, Katlego, you were in the metaverse, which is very interesting to see you with your VR goggles there, interacting with robots. What else have you seen out there?
Well, a very good morning to you again, Naledi, and to our viewers at home. Yes, technology at its best, and we're seeing most of those gadgets being on display here on day 2 of the GovTech conference taking place at the Durban ICC. I must tell you, it's a hive of activity where we're coming to you from as we speak right now. As I told you, this is an exhibition hub. We're having hundreds of those companies that have scattered through the Durban ICC. Most of them are just showcasing their stuff, looking at just more or less getting into partnerships, various partnerships with the government in mitigating against particularly the issue of the delivery of services where ICT is concerned. We are hosted, as I've been saying, by SETA, this being the State Information Technology Agency. They are here with us for throughout the entire conference, and most of them have been, or their delegates and officials from SETA have been engaged in terms of those plenary sessions that we'll see taking place for most of today. But I thought that we should take stock, Naledi, in terms of where this conference is as we continue talking on the sideline and these high-level conversations are being held. We're going to bring in the MD of SETA, this being Mr. Bongani Baba, so who'll just let us in really on why we find ourselves here, especially on day 2, looking at those conversations that are taking place on the sidelines and behind closed doors. Welcome to the SABC, Bongani.
Thank you. Nice to speak to you, Katlego.
Yeah, no, it's always lovely, man. Let's talk about where we find ourselves, especially on day 2. Let's take stock. Day 1, we saw a hive of activity, government as well, just leading in terms of ensuring that this doesn't become another talk shop, but we need to see mitigation. We need to see things on the move. We need to leverage where ICT and technology is concerned. And this is where SETA comes in, just to ensure that at least we get the best out of our ICT space. Let us in on where we are right now, day 2.
Yeah, thanks very much for having me on the interview. Look, I think day 1 was a massive success. Honorable Minister Mondli Gungubele opened the conference for us officially. We also had the Minister of Higher Education and Science and Innovation also gave a speech as well, which was quite inspiring. So day 1, to be honest, exceeded all expectations. I think we were expecting around 1,500 people. We have way more than that. As you have seen in the gala dinner last night, how many people were actually there. It's quite unbelievable. And generally in GovTech, day 2 is a little bit smaller, although that's still the case now. But if you look around you, there's still so many people, right? Even in the plenary sessions, there's a lot of people outside. So people have actually stuck around because they find the conversation quite enthralling, they find it important and the like. So I think so far it's been a success. I've had a chance to go around a few stores, talk to a few of my clients, talk to a few of the private sector representatives to see how we can forge partnerships and resolve some of the issues that we have. So I think so far it's been a very great success.
And Dr. Bongani, we know very well as well that over time, SETA was established in 1999, and we know very well that you've been pushing to ensure that you don't lose business where government is concerned and your relations with government, because over time we've seen government go out to outsource when we have this agency that was particularly set up to ensure that we get the best out of the ICT space. You're trying to leverage, you're trying to get business back. Let us in on those conversations. We know as well that you've been meeting with ministers behind closed doors and some of the executives that are here from business to ensure that we get a move where the strategies are concerned coming out of this conference. What are those conversations?
Yes. Katlego, we'll not rest until we make sure that we resolve our service delivery challenges. Like I said, I've met with quite a few of the clients here. We'll be discussing, particularly on service delivery challenges and how we can resolve it. It's particularly given the insights that we've gotten now from the conference. So that's very important for me to make sure that we can improve on service delivery, because that's your right to even innovate, right? If you can't have the baseline of delivery, what right do you have to really innovate? So that's quite important for us. We're meeting behind closed doors with some of the private sector CEOs, clients from the various government departments. Yesterday we had a private closed session where the minister was there, I was there, part of a panel. We were really discussing around how we can partner more effectively, right, to make sure that we can usher in this era of digital transformation into government. And I think that's quite important, right? And we're looking at various partnership models, so it's not just about, government gives someone money and then they build something on our behalf, but it's about how do we enter into a risk and reward sharing model, right, where we bring in value, right? It's a shared value ecosystem where we can do things together. So those are the types of conversations we've been having, and I think they're very, very fruitful. What I'm quite encouraged by this year is that people are actually, committed to make sure that we can even improve the event itself, GovTech, to make sure that the resolutions that we make, when we come back next year, they've been achieved and we've actually moved forward. So that's quite encouraging for me.
Dr. Bongani Mabaso, thank you very much, sir, for your time coming through as the MD of GovTech, a hive of activity on the ground. Those plenary sessions are continuing throughout the day. Government also here just trying to make sure that we get the best out of what we're seeing happen here. And you had Dr. Mabaso talking about how important it would be that we get a move, especially where the delivery of services is concerned. And this is particularly why we have this urgency SETA, just as part of a state-owned agency coming through to help government here in terms of the delivery of those well-needed services. Now, lady, back to you in studio.